Hey, everybody. I am back, and this is the second installment of today's coverage. Um, Before I get started, um, I just want to say to all of my viewers um, this is the primary purpose. This is the base of Elephant Exposed. The individual that I'm going to be speaking about today, guys, is goes by the name or the title Governor Ron Desantis. And I have done a little bit of searching because before I start to talk, I do pride myself on pulling from everyone's angle and everyone's perspective when it comes to a social media hot topic to try to see if it's more than just clickbait, just for someone's ratings or whatever the case may be. And as I'm looking at both sides of the fence here, um, I begin to see the red herrings, the distracting, or the distractor things right away, especially coming from Fox News. Um, and the other platforms are just basically like just browsing over it because it's almost like this feeling like they don't really want to go too far, talk too much into something that they themselves aren't too familiar with. And I can understand that. Matter of fact, I would respect that more, the approach of treading lightly on a subject matter versus trying to talk from experienced point of view, and basically you're just talking just to fill space and time because you're on a large network. Well, my platform is way different. My platform is called Elephant Exposed, and because of that, I'm gonna get right down to it. So I'm looking on my YouTube and I'm looking at highlights on my Facebook, and I'm seeing that Florida Governor Ron Desantis decided to say yet another quiet part out loud. And I don't know what century he thinks he's living in, but you are dealing with a generation of educated Black men and women. And we will not be silent and we will not be silenced. Now, let's dive right on into it. Governor Ron DeSantis decided to make a statement, and his statement was that African American studies had or have no educational value. I'm going to say that again. That African American studies, meaning Black folk right here in America, when you study us, when you study our culture, our history, how we came to be, that has no value. No value means it doesn't matter. It's insignificant. It's obsolete. It's petty. And it is with that kind of word phrasing, Fox News, since words matter, it's those words that constantly feed your base and feed your racist culture. Now, granted, I did not call an individual a racist, but the watchers, your viewers, you're not stupid, you're not ignorant. There's not a panelist on Fox News that does not know their baseline loyal watchers are full and overflowing with racist and racist cultures and values. And is hidden behind the veil of being a conservative. Now, I am not saying, let me be very clear when I say this, I am not saying that conservatives are racist. That's ignorant. That's stupid. That's like saying all black people aren't racist, all white people aren't racist. I mean, you can go on and on and on. Okay. I am not generalizing. What I am saying is that for the people that support networks like Fox News, they hide under your umbrella. Like you have really sick and demented people that want to do sick and demented things, but then they want to hide under the umbrella of Christianity. It's the same thing. Okay, anybody will look for shelter and seek shelter when they're being exposed. And then because of them seeking that proverbial shelter, then it makes that founder of that particular shelter appear like they are on board with what these individuals are doing. Kind of goes like this old saying here: birds of a feather flock together. And if you aren't denouncing, hey, wait a minute, kind of like what the Muslims did after 9/11, the real Muslims did. They said, hey, no. They do not represent us. They do not represent what we believe. We do not stand with them. It was an immediate denouncement. And we can tell as Americans, okay, who was real and who wasn't real. Now, at first, it was ugly. It's history. We had all kinds of Muslims and Aramaic and Islamic people getting attacked and everything. I mean, and it was crazy because as soon as we saw someone with a turban on or something like that, the first thing that you wanted to do was just attack them blindly, as if the person sitting right next to you, wherever you were, was the ones that was instrumental on the attack of the towers of 9/11. And you don't want for us to ever forget that. Then why in the world would you ever want for us as a black people in America? America wouldn't be what it is today if it wasn't for black people. Black history is American history, Mr. Ron DeSantis. But I see your problem. Your problem, sir, is that it wasn't the history. Because I saw your interview and I saw how you tried to backpedal. You tried to clean it up and say, oh, you don't have a problem with the history. It's the other subject matters that was bothering you. So I have the list. And I'm going to go down this list and I'm going to share it with our viewers. So the first list, or the first subject matter under this AP course is, by the way, this is an advanced program that high school students going into college are electing to take to better broaden their minds as to our culture, our history, how we came to be. So here we go. Black queer studies, intersectionality, movement for Black lives. I wonder what bothered you. Black feminist literary thought. The reparations movement. Not if you running for president, huh? Black struggle in the 21st century. So when we asked ourselves, when we saw the interview that Ben Crump did with the 3 students and a host of preachers, teachers, activists, letting you know, serving you notice, Ron, that they're coming after you and they don't mind fighting you, bruh, strap in. Because a constant question that was being asked was, and it's kind of like whenever I talk to my children, whenever you're wanting to get the proverbial smoking gun from them, whenever, in other words, you want for them to own whatever they're doing, because we're teaching our young men and women how to be accountable for the things that they do. Just like how Fox News relished in the fact that they received an apology from the board that said something to the act of calling Governor Ron DeSantis a racist. That's someone's opinion or somebody's opinion, but because they were attached to the board, the leader of the board was saying, "Hey, wait a minute, that's how this individual feels. We all don't feel that way." First of all, if someone calls you a racist, that's like someone calling you an a-hole or any other derogatory sense because of how you are coming across to them. That's what they see. Okay? So, but like how that leader of the board said or wrote, it's nothing wrong with an apology. It ain't gonna hurt. Okay, just like I would apologize to my family member for overstepping at yelling at them or whatever the case may be for something that they did in my home. It's nothing wrong with an apology. And guys, you should have heard the Fox News panel. I mean, just sit back and just revel in the fact that, oh, somebody had to apologize. That's what adults do. And so y'all look like high school, not even high school, junior high school kids just relishing the fact, oh, they had to apologize. That's what mature people do. And especially whenever they know who and what they represent and they are being professional. Because not one person opinion about somebody, not everybody shares that opinion. Just like everything on this list right here, in my personal life, I would not subject myself to this, but because it's a course, a part of history, just like when if I was to study, I don't know, let's just say divinity courses. Now, in my own belief system, I come from a devout Christian upbringing. But if you are studying divinity, you're going to have to learn world religions, Whether you agree with them or not, or their practices, their laws, their bylaws, you still have to study it in order to get that degree. Well, Ron DeSantis, governor of Florida, these are courses. These are courses. And like how the other doctors and professionals are saying, these courses are taught from different doctors, different professionals in their own way. Their very style of teaching will be different. Just like they called you out on how you would take your own personal views whenever you were a teacher, an educator for a short period of time, and what you would say and do in your classroom that was totally inappropriate. It's called Elephant Exposed, buddy. Like I said, I go back and I look at everybody's point of view, and then I bring it to my people, because my watchers want to see the whole picture, the good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent. And we can think critically on our own about what we want to take from and discard the rest, or take it all or discard all of it, because that's what mature, critical thinking adults do. We do it all. So, with that being said, what you're being fought on is the undertone line of what you are really trying to hide behind. And that's that whole Stay Woke Act that's trying to put a muzzle on Black history, Black culture. You don't want for my 10-year-old son, my daughters, to know who they are, what they are, where they come from. You not on a public school level. But yet and still, I dare ask, why are they still teaching colonial history? I'm pausing for effect. Why are they still teaching whitewashed history, as if white men just came to the United States and shook hands with the Indians politely moved out of the way, and hey friends, come on over from Africa and come and work for free for us, and eventually just over a period of time, you just kind of blend in, and don't make too much hustle. But hey, look at Dr. Martin Luther King, and look at some of these other politically soft, and you're only focusing on the I Have a Dream speech, and the I Have a Dream speech wasn't even called the I Have a Dream speech. In other words, you are trying to pull what we call a quick one. You're calling it one thing, you're hiding your real truth under here, but you're saying, oh, but this is not a political move. Of course it is, because you're running for president and you got to run up against Trump. And all of y'all pretty much are in the same boat. But I'm not going to make my show about that tonight. But I'm going to leave it up to my viewers to tell me what they think about your undercover plan. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I am out. Why don't you tell me what you think about what Ron DeSantis is trying to do? Catch you next time.